Hello everyone! Welcome back to the Genius Idol Quintuplet series. Before we start guys, you may be wondering when am I ever going to be uploading the next part of me playing Bendy and the Dark Revival. Well, the reason I am not uploading a next part guys is that I'm obviously taking a break on playing that game. I'm pretty sure I've talked about this before in one of my previous videos. But don't you worry everyone, there will be another part of me playing Bendy and the Dark Revival. So anyway, last time in this series where I came back after a lot of model shooting and me, Futaro and the Quintuplets went to the festival because the Quintuplets want to watch the fireworks together, which it didn't end well because when the announcement said that the fireworks are going to start soon, then the crowd went nuts and began to go to their spots to watch the fireworks, and that causes me, Futaro, and the Quintuplets to split up, and you all know the rest. Anyway, enough talk, let's get fucking started. Man, I'm tired. I wasn't talking to anyone, just muttering things to myself. Today is going to suck. I'm too tired to do anything. Hello? Maybe I'll just leave early. Hello? I wonder how many confessions there will be in my shoe locker today. Hey! Ugh. What the? I look at who shouted at me, and it was Ichika, who was wearing the girl's winter uniform and had two frappuccinos from Starship Coffee in her hands. Oh, Ichika, good morning. Were you ignoring me? She asked. No, sorry, I was just deep in thought. I'm kinda tired from last night. What did you do last night? She asked. I read a book until 5 this morning. I couldn't put it down. Well then, I'm sure you'll be glad for this then. She smiled, handing me one of the frappuccinos. This is for you. Really? Really, she smiled. Thanks a bunch. I owe you one. So what do you think about my winter uniform? She asked. It looks really good on you. Thank you, she responded. You're welcome. Oh, by the way, I told the rest of the girls about my job yesterday. They had a lot of questions. That's understandable. You 5 asked me a ton of questions when I first met you girls, and you asked me to sit at your table with the rest of you. Yeah, sorry, she giggled, scratching her head. No worries. Still though, it's a huge load off. She smiled. That's good. She took my free hand in hers and she clung to my arm. I just chuckled a little and sipped on my frappuccino. Thanks for the frappuccino. It was nice of you. Think of it as a thank you for helping us study and letting me walk to school with you like this. She smiled back. I don't really mind for a girl to hold my arm. The midterms exams begin next week, the teacher stated. You know, it would be pretty cool if we see Ichika in some films that we like to see her in. Like imagine her in Jurassic World or Godzilla King of Monsters or all our Godzilla films. Yep, Futaro is fucked. And by the way, in case you didn't know, scores below 30 count as failing like always, so check your work and check it twice, the teacher added. Guess it's that time, I heard Futaro mutter to himself. It was the break and Itsuki was delicately studying for English. Itsuki, Futaro said. What do you want? She glared. Oh, is this the part when after when Futaro was talking to Itsuki's dad on the phone, which he said on the phone that if Futaro failed to study the quintuplets, he'll be fired. Whoa, I can't believe I caught you studying while we're on a break. Good, Futaro said, putting his hands on her desk and getting close to her. What? Itsuki asked. And I hear you study after school too. You're the most diligent one. It was easy to pick up on that since we're both in the same class, Futaro said. Do you really think so? Itsuki blushed. Ah, that's nice of him to say. Then I realized something. Wait a minute. That's out of character for him. Yep, but you're still a dumbass as rock. Dumbass! That is exactly what I would do. Kick the guy for being rude to a girl. He landed back in his chair and was groaning. What was that for? He groaned. Did you really just ask me that? I just looked at Itsuki, who was obviously hurt. You're doing a fantastic job, Itsuki. I smiled, patting her head. That cheered her up a little. Hey, could you go get Nino? Futaro asked. Why? You can get her yourself. Do you really think I can go get her with the how bad my side hurts? He replied. Don't say stupid shit and I won't have to kick you. Please, he begged. She won't listen to me. She'll at least hear you out. Fine. The session in the library? Yep, he answered. Got it. I'll see you there. I picked up my bag and started looking for Nino. I find her walking up the stairwell that I was standing on. Nino? Huh? The girls with her gasped. Wait, Lee's actually talking to a girl? One of them said. You do realize that I have to turn down girls' confessions so I always talk with girls. That we mean is that you went looking for a girl of your own violation? The second added, meh, still wrong, but that's not the point. Nino, we're studying in the library. Come with me. Let's go, girls, Nino said, continuing to walk up the stairs past me. So I'm assuming that you're set for midterms. Nino, he's talking to you, one of her friends said. Don't mind him, she stated. He's a stalker. Man, Nino, that really hurt my feelings. Like hell I am. And the guy right here said quite the contrary. He has a point there. I highly doubt that, the first girl said. And if it were true, any girl would kill to be in your shoes, the second added. This is far from over. You were into it at the festival, so what changed? Nino stopped and gasped. Huh? The two girls asked. Come on, just think about it. We could do it anywhere. Your place or mine. Oh, for God's sake, no, don't tell me I'm going to the park. I'm not in Futaro's spot. You all know what happened to him when he said the same thing to Nino on the stairwell. One more time. Give me one more time chance. Give me one more chance. I know what I'm doing, okay? I can teach you so many things. I swear, you'll be satisfied. Yep, I'm definitely dead by Nino. She turned around and was blushing mess. So did I convince you? Nino, why didn't you tell us? The first girl squealed in excitement. You have to tell us everything, the second girl added. So my plan backfired since the two girls dragged Nino away to who knows where to get the details out of her. Okay, so Nino did not instead slap me. She got dragged away by two of her friends. Well, at least I am lucky that she did not slap me. Cause misunderstandings, chaos and mayhem. My work here is done. Oh, so I planned that. So I went back to the library and 3 of the 5 sisters were there. Where's Nino? Futaro asked. Her friends drug her off somewhere after I caused a misunderstanding. She won't be joining us today. Did you do it accidentally? Nah, I do it on purpose. What? Me? Cause a misunderstanding by accident? Hell no. I did that on purpose. I just thought it would get her to try and shut me up by coming with me, so it backfired. Well, let's get this session started then. Izuki, Lee, pop quiz. Yotsuba smiled. Do you notice anything that's different about my appearance today? I assume that all of you are aware that midterms are coming up soon, Futaro said, ignoring Yotsuba. Rude, she pouted. Listen, Futaro started. I'll give you a clue. It's above the neck. Yotsuba smiled, pointing to the ribbon in her hair. Unless you improve your performance, there's no way you will survive, Futaro continued. Tada! The answer is my ribbon has a different pattern than usual, Yotsuba smiled. I just grabbed her ribbon and gripped them like a cartoon magician pulling a rabbit out of their hat. Apparently checks are totally in style right now, she smiled. Well, since you've got checks for all the erroneous answers you wrote, you're already ahead of the game. Whoa, I'm such a trendsetter, she beamed. That caused Ichika to laugh and Futaro and I to sigh. Ichika, you've got nothing to laugh about, Futaro stated. I mean, at least Yotsuba willing to improve herself. Yotsuba just puffed out her chest with pride. There's only 1 week before the midterms and you slackers are gonna be ready if it kills ya, Futaro declared. What? Ichika asked. In every subject, you hear that even in, Futaro said. Hey Migu, that question is wrong. Good job on the other questions though. Whoa, look, Migu's studying her weakest subject all on her own, Futaro asked. Is something wrong? I'm fine, I just felt like trying for once, that's all, Migu answered. Whoa, Futaro noted. Alright now, I'm good at motivated, Yotsuba exclaimed. It was time for us to leave the school library since club activities would be ending soon and the gates would be shut. I'm so beat, Yotsuba voiced. Yeah, I can't wait to go home and crash, Migu agreed. We continued walking, but Futaro stopped and started to think to himself. Ichika decided to mess with him a little bit since he was so zoned out. She blew on his ear and it shot him out of his daze. What are you doing? He exclaimed. You don't expect us to work more, do you? Ichika asked. It's not like we're going to get expelled if we fail a midterm. We'll all give it our best shot, okay? Just be patient with them. But I mean, if you wanted us to try harder, you could give us an incentive, Ichika added. Oh, I know what. That fruit parfait by the station, Yotsuba cheered. I want a matcha parfait, Miku added. You're right, that does sound pretty good, Ichika agreed. I'll text the others and have them meet us there, Miku stated, typing away on her phone. What? But I thought you couldn't wait to get back home, Futaro said. I just put my hand on his shoulder. Brother, there are many things that man will never understand. How a woman's mind works, and one of those things. Izuki, Lee, Yotsuba cried out, hurry your butts up or we'll eat all the parfait without you. You're gonna go, I'll pay. No thanks though, he answered. I've gotta get home to study. That's how you get smarter, he stated. But it's so boring! Tell me, how you're third in the class again, he sighed. Photographic memory, boy. So you sure you don't want to go? I'm certain, he answered. Alright then, see you later. I turned and started to chase after the three Nakano sisters. Hey, wait up! I joined up the three sisters and we headed to the cafe that had the parfaits. We were seated at the table and we were waiting for the waitress with our menus in front of us. So what type of parfait are you going to get, Lee? Ichika asked. Oh, I think I'll just get a milkshake. The ones they have here are to die for. Oh, you've been here before, Lee? Yotsuba asked. Oh yeah, whenever I had a bad day at school, I always came here. I still do to this day, actually. Oh, I didn't know that, Yotsuba replied. I don't really talk about it much, so that's why. Hello, what can I get for you? Lee? A feminine voice cried. I looked up from my menu and saw a familiar face. Oh hey, how have you been? I didn't know you came here, she blushed. Oh, so do you know her, Lee? Ichika smiled. Her eyes weren't smiling though. It was like she was trying to light me on fire with her eyes. Wait, is Ichika like jealous or something? I do. Girls, I'd like you to meet Aika Ena. She was one of my underclassmen when I was in junior high. Lee senpai was always so helpful when I needed it. She beamed. He even defended me from a group of bullies once. You mess with my friends, you had to mess with me. Oh, so Lee does have a heart, Ichika teased. Hey, easy there. Anyway, how have you been, Aika? I've been good, she smiled. Today's my first day on the job. Oh cool, so we don't want to keep you waiting. So girls, do you know what you want? I'll take a jumbo fruit parfait, Yotsuba cheered. I like a medium matcha parfait, Migi answered. I'll get a jumbo fruit parfait as well, Ichika replied. And I'll take a large chocolate peanut butter milkshake. Alright, so 2 jumbo fruit parfaits, a medium matcha parfait, and a large chocolate and peanut butter shake, Aika answered. Is there anything else? I think that's it. Right? I asked, and they nodded their heads. Yep, that's all. Alright, I'll be back in a few minutes with your order. She smiled, walking off. Spell it, Ichika smirked. Who was that? She was an underclassman from junior high. I already said that. Comment down below guys on what's your favorite milkshake or parfait that you drink. Well, for me, I never drank parfait before, but I did drink a lot of milkshake. My most favorite are basically strawberry or chocolate. No, there seemed to be something else going on between you two, Migu added. There isn't, I swear. She was just a friend. Oh Lee, you can be so dense sometimes, Yotsuba sighed. I know that she likes or at least liked me. I'm not telling you that. I can tell that she wants to get into my pants. I'm not telling you that. I can tell that she wants to get into my pants. I think that it still applies, Ichika smiled. You can see it in her eyes. I figured. Would you go out with her if she asked you? Migu asked with a tint of blush. Like I told you when I had lunch with you that day, I don't do relationships. I traveled too much, so she wouldn't see me for a few days at a time. Also, her school is a bit off a distance from here, so why she got a job here and not somewhere closer is beyond me. She's cute though, Ichika said. I'm sure that you can see that. I can, but that doesn't make much of a difference. I still won't accept love confessions. Here you are. Sorry for the wait, Aika smiled, placing the parfaits and my drink in front of me. Is there anything else I can get for you today? I'm good. Girls? We're fine, they said at once. Alright, well if you think of something, just holler, she smiled. She left and I took a sip of my milkshake. Ah! This cafe has the best milkshakes ever. Say ah, Ichika smiled, putting a spoon to my face. You can't be serious. Oh, I want to feed Lee too, Yotsuba whined, putting a spoon to my face too. If you want, you can have some of mine, Miki said, putting another spoon to my face. Oh boy, I decided, but then I smiled. Alright, they took turns and I shared my milkshake with them. By the end of it, I wound up buying more milkshakes since they liked them so much. When the bill arrived, I paid for everything and I left a generous tip to my former kohai and noticed that there was a number written on the receipt. I'll text her when I get home. Hey Lee, let's go to our place, Yotsuba cheered. I think I should be getting home now. We can hang out tomorrow. Aw, Yotsuba pouted. Yotsuba, don't start with your cuteness. Seriously, you'll give me acute overdose. I was in Nakano's apartment along with Futaro. We decided to take a break, and since Futaro was so out of it, he just went along with it. We were now playing the game of lifetime. Hey Itsuki, check me out. I just got married. Yotsuba beamed. Give me that gift money. Alright, here you go, Futaro said, handing over some money. You too, Lee, Yotsuba smiled. Yeah, I replied, handing over 200,000 yen. Oh, don't even act like that's a lot, Futaro growled. You're a doctor. I'm a salaryman. Mama needs a new house. Yotsuba smiled. Okay, my turn next, Miki said, spinning the spinner. Even in the board game, I'm still poor, Futaro sighed. Then he stopped out of that daze he was in. We don't have time for this dumb game, he growled. Break's over, let's crack those textbooks open. Huh? But we study our butts off all day long, Ichika whined. Yeah, my poor noggin's about to explode, Yotsuba added. We can't overdo it, Miki added. Futaro, it doesn't do good to cram all the time. The more you cram, it can be counterproductive. Let them have a break. I know that the test is around the corner, but I think they've learned as much information as they can in one day. You have a point, he sighed. Futaro, you're more high-strung than usual, Miki observed. Does that mean we're that far behind? Well, no, he answered. Hey, look at all you lazy bums. Playing board games instead of studying, Nino smirked. I want in. I'll just take your spot for a while. She sat down at Futaro's place. By the way, Nino, I'm not lazy. I didn't mean you, she blushed. That's better. So, what were you saying? Miki asked Futaro. Come on, tell us. Futaro stood up and then realized what he had said or started to say. Oh, it's nothing important, he laughed. Ew, you're like a super poor, Nino shouted. I think I know what's going on. Do you want to play too? Nino asked. I looked up and Itsuki was standing there behind Futaro. Itsuki, Futaro asked. About yesterday. I can't talk. I have a ton of studying to do. Oh, now we're getting to the part when Futaro and Itsuki kind of argued. Hey, wait a second. Futaro started. Okay, you're all done lecturing us for the day, aren't you? Time to go home, Nino said, pushing Futaro towards the door. Why, what's the hurry? He asked. Beat it, you're off the clock, Nino shouted. Nino, hey stop, please. Jeez, he said. Not so fast, Futaro, Ichika smiled. Don't go back on your word. You promised us you were going to stay here overnight so that we could get some more studying in. Ichika smiled, holding up a textbook. What? Nino and Futaro exclaimed. Well, I better get going. I don't want to interrupt your sleepover. Wait, Lee, don't you dare go back on your word either, Ichika shouted. I live down the hall. I never made any sort of promise to stay overnight. Have a nice night. I started walking when a hand grabbed mine. It was Nino. You don't have to go, Nino blushed. Please. Stay the night. I was about to say no when she had the puppy eyes in full effect. Oh my god. One of the cutest things that will affect me and of course the others. Fine, I'm going to go take a shower and change into my night attire. I'll be back in a bit. Imagine I just lied and just stay there. Imagine me in my apartment that I said this. Do they really think I'm planning to stay at their apartment? I lied. Itsuki's been in the tub for a while now. Yotsuba chimed. It's not every day he gets to use the same bath as 5 beautiful ladies, Ichika replied. Lee has been gone a while too, Miki stated. Go check on him. Ichika smiled. Miki replied, shaking her head. He's staying here overnight, so if you wanted to make a move on him, you couldn't ask for a better opportunity, Ichika suggested. I have no idea what you're talking about, Miki blushed. Hey Itsuki, welcome back. Yotsuba cheered. I'm sorry to keep you guys waiting, he replied, ready to pick up where we left off. Lee isn't back yet, Yotsuba replied, so we should wait for him. If I know my friend and I know him pretty well, he's going to be a while, Futaro said. It will be better to start without him. You talking shit. Oh, I thought you were going to take a little longer, Futaro said. Nah, I already showered today, so I didn't have to take a long one. So now let's get started. You're welcome to join Nino, Futaro said. And we got to the part where Nino found out why Futaro was acting suspicious because she realized that Futaro will be fired. So Nino is actually planning something. She was sitting at the table looking at her phone. I don't see any need for that, she replied. I could tell he was trying to think of a way to get Nino to join, but he just gave up. Question, teacher, Ichika said, raising her hand. This problem here, which one is it? I asked as I took a seat next to Miku. Sorry, let's scooch over, Ichika said, knocking Miku into my chest. That made Miku gasp. Easy there, Ichika. What? Miki needs help with something too. Ichika smiled. Ichika, Miki whispered excited. Smart move, Ichika, for pushing Miki towards me. Futaro, you may want to take a look at this one, I stated, pointing to the problem. I don't know what to explain it. Oh yeah, I can answer that. Ask me anything, guys. He smiled. K. Yotsuba smiled, raising her hand. Yes, Futaro stated. Can you tell me a synonym for argument? Yotsuba asked. That is an excellent question, Futaro replied. How about debate? You can even spell it using hiragana. See, it's D-ba and T. You'll see that one on the exam for sure. I have a question as well, Miki said. This one is particularly one that Lee can answer. Oh, what question does she got me? I can try at least, so shoot. What kind of girls do you like? Miki asked. That got everyone's attention that was within earshot. The four sisters particularly. Is that really relevant right now? Yes, sir, Yotsuba replied, raising her hand. Because I'm interested in knowing the same thing, sir. To what end? It doesn't hurt to know, Ichika coed. True, but do you really want to waste time knowing such pointless information? It's not pointless, Nino shouted. Fine, I'll tell you. Only after you finish a page and it be mostly correct. That made them quickly start the neatly study. They are so easy to manipulate. Futaro was obviously thinking the same thing. We just nodded our heads and did a fist bump. Since it was going to be just a little while, I ran to my apartment and grabbed my whiteboard and markers when I returned. Yotsuba was almost done when I set up the board and numbered 19. She finished. Why do I have a whiteboard in my apartment? Okay, I finished one, Yotsuba announced, raising her hand. Futaro checked the answers. He did, and he nodded at me when he reviewed the answers, telling me that most of them were right. Alright, number 9. Number 9 has a good sense of style. Hey, I'm done, Miki said, raising her hand. Futaro checked and nodded. Number 8. A hard worker. Okay, I'm finished, Ichika said, raising her hand. Futaro did the same and nodded. Number 7. And this is going to sound a little shallow shorter than. I could tell Nino was clinging onto everything I was saying. So Nino, care to join? Oh, if I must, she sighed. She grabbed her things, then started working on the homework the others were working on. She finished pretty quickly. Futaro of course checked it out and nodded. Nino really wants to know what type of girls I like. Number 6, a good cook. I finished another, Yotsuba cheered. Number 5, a little nerdy. I finished one too, Miki said. I did as well, Nino said. Me 4, Ichika smiled. Jesus Christ, they all really want to know what type of girls I like. Alright, number 4 is okay being away from me for short periods of time. Number 3, extremely caring. Aw, they said at once. Number 2 is younger than me. When's your birthday? Nino asked. January 7th. I finished my last page, Miki said. Alright, and number 1. Yes, the 4 sisters asked. Someone who makes my heart skip a beat and take my breath away, I answered. That's kinda vague, Nino stated. Well, that's my criteria. I can't help it. Wait, you made us go through all this just to say Riha? Yotsuba cried. Och, no fair. I look at the board and sure enough, she fit a good majority of that criteria. That's not what I meant. I do have my limits here. She's too young for me, obviously, and she's like a little sister to me. I couldn't think of her in that way. Well, that's a relief, they sighed. I don't know how to take that. Anyway, now that you know my standards, I can get back to studying. The last one is kinda vague though. Ichika smiled. Fine, she has to be beautiful. That better? I asked and they nodded. Now let's... Oh, that's cool. Ichika smiled. Miku's already finished with her work. You're supposed to praise people when they do a good job, you too. You're right. So, Mr. Tutor, that's all you. I think that will be more genuine if you do it, Lee. Ichika smiled. Yeah, you do it, Futaro agreed. Alright. I approached Miku and put my hand on her head. Good job, Miku. So is your heart racing? Ichika coed. Not really. No offense, Miku. Grr! Yotsuba, come check him, Ichika shouted. That was all I could get out before Yotsuba clung to my chest and put her ear against it. His heart's totally racing, she exclaimed. Fine, you caught me. I get nervous around girls my age and my heart starts to beat ridiculously fast. Really? Ichika smirked. Yes, really. Because that's not what I've heard, she smirked. I've heard that when you turn a girl down and they hug you, your heart doesn't beat quickly. I don't know what you mean. So is it just Yotsuba or is it all of us? Ichika smirked, an idea forming in her head. Oh no, Ichika hugged me and my heart was racing. Miki was kind of just perched to my chest by Yotsuba. My heart was racing. Alright, satisfied. Nino was blushing, but she got the nerve up to hug me. My heart was racing. Like, all we need is Itsuki and we'll have a royal street. Ichika smirked. You guys are so lied, a voice said. All great, why couldn't you have stayed in your room? Itsuki was walking down the steps, approaching us. I know that there are 6 of you, but you think a study group would be quieter? Itsuki stated. Sorry, Ichika smiled. Yotsuba, grab her. Wait, what? Itsuki cried. Yotsuba and Ichika grabbed Itsuki and pulled her over to me. What are you doing? Itsuki shouted. Let me go. In a minute. Ichika smiled. Just hug Lee and we'll leave you alone. For the record, this was not my idea. If that's what it takes, Itsuki blushed. She hugged me and guess what? My heart wasn't racing. Wait, what? What? My heart isn't racing. Oh. Man, you got me there. Okay, now that's done. Itsuki said. Miki, is it okay if I borrow your headphones? I don't mind, but why? Miki asked. To drown out some of this racket, Itsuki answered. Itsuki, Futaro said. Are you sure I can depend on you? I just don't want to do anything that will hold you back, she answered, walking back to her room. Look at the stars, Futaro Lee. They're so pretty. Ichika smiled. We should take a little break. Come on out. I followed the 2 outside and we leaned against the railing. So are you fighting with Itsuki? Ichika asked Futaro. No more than usual, Futaro answered. Ha, tree. It's like you 2 are oil and water. You just can't coexist peacefully, Ichika smiled. I think it's because you are too much alike. Too much alike? He asked. You guys are quints. I guess you're right, Ichika admitted. But I don't know the day. Seem kinda different. I think it's better when the 2 of you argue like good friends do. That's a paradox, Futaro and I stated. Itsuki's being stubborn, that's all. Aren't you doing the same thing? She asked Futaro. She's always been kind of an awkward girl. It's hard for her to express herself. I'm sure she's suffering right now, Ichika said. I'll do whatever I can to help her feel better. But there are some things that are gonna have to come from you, so are you in? I'm gonna be straight here. Who are you talking to? Well, there are some things that are going to have to come from both of you, but Futaro needs to apologize, Ichika answered. I agree there. I don't know what it's about, but I'm sure it would help. I didn't think that it made much a difference since you were all born in the same day, Futaro said. He was planning on patting her head, but he was out before even getting his arm up. It's cold. Let's get back inside, Futaro suggested. Going back inside. There was more he was going to say. I can tell, Ichika sighed. You really are the big sister. I smiled, patting her head. Why'd you pet me? She asked. Good job at being the big sister that cares about her little sisters. We should head back inside, though. I'm fine, but you're probably cold. Cold? She replied. I don't think it is. She was a blushing mess. So hugging me doesn't make you blush, but me patting your head does? Come on, let's get you inside. We walk inside and then I thought I cured to the girls. Now that I think about it, where's Lee and Futaro going to sleep? Good question. I'll sleep on one of the couches. I'll sleep on the other couch, Futaro answered. We can't let our guests sleep on the couch, Ichika stated. We'll lend 2 of our rooms to you. No, really. The couch is fine for me. We won't take no for an answer, the 4 siblings said at once. Okay, since you won't budge on this, I leave that choice up to you girls. He can sleep in my room, Nino and Miki shouted at once. The 4 girls looked at me and I chuckled. I don't have a preference. Lee can sleep in my room, Nino said. It's nicer. Mine is nice too, Miki said softly. I want Lee to sleep in my room, Yotsuba cried. Do you really want him to see your panties? You had 6th grade school. Oh my god, this series is very hilarious. I love it. Strykerxk9, you deserve a gold medal. Oh well, Yotsuba, I wouldn't dare invade your privacy. Just know that. I trust you, she smiled. So it's us 4. Ichika smiled. Rock, paper, scissors, Yotsuba suggested. Fine, the other said. Rock, paper, scissors. Strykerxk9 said that he used a spinner app on his phone. That is a very smart idea since it's kinda hard to pick of who to choose a room to sleep in. Using a spinner app will be helpful. Alright, Lee gets my room, Miki said. Futaro can have mine, Ichika smiled. Well, thank you for your hospitality. It's greatly appreciated. Time for bed, Ichika smiled. Miki lead me to our room. and opened the door for me. Thanks, Miku. You're welcome, she blushed. Good night. Good night, she stuttered, closing the door. So I sat down on her bed, but I didn't go to sleep. I got sucked into reading fanfiction on Wattpad. That is actually true, guys. I do this every time whenever I go to bed. I always look up good series of Animes X Mill Reader series all the time, because I always want to look for good ones. I wonder how Itsuki is. So I got up, went to the bathroom, then I walked to Itsuki's door and knocked. There wasn't an answer, and I could see the faint light of a lamp inside. I knocked again and still nothing. Maybe she's asleep, or maybe she's wearing headphones that she borrowed from Miku since she's listening to music. Maybe she passed out on a desk. I do that enough to know that her neck is going to be pained tomorrow. So swallowing any fear I had, I walked in and sure enough, she was sleeping at her desk. Aww. I pulled the headphones off her head and I carefully picked her up and laid her down in her bed and pulled her blankets over her. I went to shut the lamp off but noticed her homework that had small whip marks on them. The problems were mostly wrong and I knew them. She's been crying. I walked over to her and sure enough her cheeks still had some whip marks. You're doing a good job, Itsuki. I'm proud of you. Good night. I gave her a head small pat and left to go back to Miku's room. I eventually fell asleep, but I was awoken by someone getting in bed. Shit! I thought my eyes shouldn't open. I backed up against the wall and the individual rolled over. This is Miku. She must have had to go to the restroom. Then she came back to her room when she was half asleep. She got closer to me and then she opened her eyes. I was sweating bullets. I'm dead. So very, very dead. Then, well, holy shit! What? I immediately shouted. The room started spinning and my vision went black. Alright guys, so that is this chapter ended. Okay, I did not expect that ending. Miku basically just kissed me while she is like half asleep, which I did not see that coming. And I just passed out when she kissed me. And so I'm wondering what will happen in the next chapter. But we'll find out guys on the next video. So I hope you enjoyed this and make sure you leave a like and subscribe. And I'll see you all on the next video. Lee Hip is out.